warrior he is, the competitor he is, the teammate he is. I mean, I was just sitting in a leadership meeting talking about our team with him and where we need to keep growing to. I mean, that's this group of leaders. You know, on the flip side, defensively, started extremely fast, finally got a pick six. Haven't had one of those in a while. I'm proud of Amara McCoy taking it the distance. His ball security has to improve. Trust me, we'll work that with him, taking it pick six. But, I mean, a young man that Amara McCoy has had his best 3 weeks as a Bronco back to back to back, from Hawaii to UNLV to now. He just needs to stay on that trajectory. And I think our corners are playing much improved. Coach Demo's done a great job of those guys. I mean, Amara McCoy, Jeremiah Irby, Devon Banks are playing some really good football right now. We need them to. Gave up some explosive plays defensively, but our guys stayed in. I think we gave up 5 explosive plays all game. If you do that, you always had a shot to play really good defense. 5's kind of the number, and our guys did that, had the 2 interceptions, and, you know, we're really good on third down. Later in the game, though, you know, we gave some stuff that we can't, and we got to play some other guys. We got to gig some guys in rotation. But I'm proud of how our defense came out. They continually improve week in, week out. Coach Chins and our defensive staff put really good plans together for our guys to be on the attack, and we're doing that. There's still some meat on the bone that we're excited to continue to improve on in our front. In regards to creating pressure on quarterbacks is something that we've done a good job of, and it needs to continue. Special teams-wise, we were able to get a fake punt, and our guys being able to execute that in that critical moment was huge. There's still some things in our coverage units we need to clean up. Did a much better job kicking the ball to the end zone, creating touchbacks with our kickoff unit. Some of the ball placement on some of the skies we were doing, we got to continue to improve. And there's just still some meat on the bones with some decision-making in regards to our special teams that we need to grow in. We are getting better, but I know we are relentless to continue to improve here, and we need to, especially the games need to go in, especially against a really good Nevada team coming in here that we know will be ready to play. So proud of our team in all 3 phases. It's still going to be what did we learn and how we're going to continue to grow going forward. We know we're going to play a really good Nevada team that's getting better every week. Think very highly of Jeff Choate and what he did not only here as a coach, but Montana State as a head coach, been to Texas. Kane Iones is DC that I know really well. He's a very, very good football coach and even a better man. And so we know we're going to get Nevada's best. We know they've had some injuries. Those guys will be healthy against us. And we're going to get Nevada's best on Saturday, and they're going to get Boise State's best too. With that being said, open up for questions.
As these teams continue to just load the box and do everything they can to stop Ashton, now that you're seeing what Maddox Madsen can do and this receiving corps can do, I mean, at what point I guess a good problem you don't have to worry about on the other side, but at what point do they have to switch things back a little bit and worry more about the pass and that give and take there?
Yeah, BJ, I mean, you put defenses in conflict, and it was awesome hearing our guys even talking through that. I mean, like I said, Maddox played really well on Friday night, but I mean, there's some open receivers due to that, right? I mean, you really got to show your hand early on in how you're going to stop our run game attack. And when defenses do that, I mean, we're going to be on the attack too. There's answers that we have, and seeing our guys make those plays when they come to them, that's a good offense. That's an offense that we're going to continue to work to be elite when, hey, some of the run games being stopped, or when teams are dictating that many hats to the run game, being able to be explosive in our pass game, that's the compliments we have on offense, and that's a testament to our players. And sometimes it's going to be Latrell Cable scoring 3 touchdowns. Maybe next week it's going to be a different receiver. But that's what builds the mentality of your offense and your team, is you never know when your number is going to get called. You never know when your opportunity is going to come, but be ready when it does. And so I'm proud of our guys. Like I said, there's still a lot of stuff on film. We had some penalties. We had some things that got us behind the sticks, BJ. But I'm proud of our guys staying true to the plan, continuing to work at it. And Maddox playing the way he does, I mean, that puts a defense in a lot of conflict.
To the way that teams are approaching Ashton, I mean, how many more often are they putting an extra guy in the box now or doing whatever as opposed to the first couple of games of the season? How much has that
Yeah, I mean, they've got a lot of games to look at now. I mean, as you get longer in the season, as a coach, you've got even more and more film to see, what other teams have done to try and stop the run game or the pass game or certain situational areas of the field that we've attacked defenses. And so we know early on in a game we're going to see their best run defenses. That could be pressures, it could be base defenses, it could be, whatever their kind of DNA is. And then it's our job to have answers, and it's our job to make sure we capitalize in the run game, and then obviously the passes off it. Because at some point, I mean, even myself being a defensive guy, they've got 11, we got 11. And so how they're going to dictate hats to stop the run, how are they going to pressure us, how are they going to play their base coverages against the run game we're going to have, because we are going to establish a run game here. And then the passing attack off of it. So, I mean, our coaches do such a great job adapting, evolving in-game, having answers. And our players do too. Hey, guys, this is what they showed on film, we're probably going to get something different. That's what it is. And we've seen that week in and week out. Then we come to the sideline, look at the iPad. Hey, guys, this is how they're attacking us. This is how we're going to have to make sure we use it for our advantage going forward.
It's easy when Ashton breaks out 75-yard runs to say that's good. But, I mean, there were plays like it seems like San Diego State fits it freaking perfectly.
Yep.
He hurdles a guy in the hole and still picks up 6 or whatever. 18 missed tackles were like most in the NCAA game this year. How good is Ashton still at, despite everything they're throwing at him, still finding out a way?
Ashton Genty is the best football player in the country, and he preps like it, he trains like it, and we're a really good football team. Now, how we played this Saturday is all about how we practice to prep to do that. But when I talk to our team about what do we learn, you learn positives about your team too. I'm proud of our team in a lot of phases, but who I am and I know the leadership in our team, entitlement will not creep in here. Entitlement is thinking that what you did in the past affects the future, and it doesn't. This is a new week. We're a new team every week, just like Nevada is. And we've got to earn the right to play our best on Saturday. But who Ashton is and the mentality he has and how he runs, I mean, yes, it's not maybe a 60-yard touchdown, but we like playing 2nd and 2. And that opens up the playbook a lot for our offense to be able to shots downfield or whatever we might do in that situation. So, and it's the mentality of your team. Like when you consistently run the football, you wear defenses out. And that's how we're built here. It's not just even this season. That's how this place has been built for years. And we're going to continue to work our tail off to do those things.
What's the recovery process like for a guy like Ash, who's obviously sore, you know, 30 carries plus, and just fixing that body and trying to get him to be in the best possible shape? I'm sure it takes a village.
Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, I mean, it's something that he has to do from the second the game's over till kickoff, and how he takes care of his body in our training room, his sleep, his recovery habits. And that's no different, obviously, for him and the shots he's taken and the carries he gets, but it's for everybody across college football right now. I mean, this is week 10 of college football, maybe even week 11 of the college football season. So, and I'm going to tell our team this. I mean, there's not one team in the country that's fresh. That, oh my gosh, I feel the same way I felt like I did in fall camp. Everybody's dealing with injuries. Everybody needs to have somebody else carry the flag and step up. That's college football. And no different for our players, like Ashton especially, like how I get in the training room and how I get myself ready so I can have my best week of practice, so I can earn the right to play best on Saturday night. I mean, it's something that our guys are tirelessly working out every single day, and they need to. Because, I mean, the month of November, this is where everything shakes down. I mean, this is the compete month. This is where everything's kind of set. And for us, we're going to take it one day at a time. And rankings and this don't mean anything. It's all about how we can have our best Monday meetings, our best Monday practice. And the second I wake up tomorrow, it's going to be all about having the best Tuesday.
For 3 hours of game time, do you monitor how many carries you get, or at that point you're just focused on trying to win the game?
We're focused on trying to win the game, Mike. And obviously as we go through a game, we'll look at those things. But when we get in a game, it's our whole team, coaches included, our best attack to go win the football game. And then obviously we're going to be smart with players to see no different defensively, how many reps are some of our D linemen getting, are we getting worn down throughout a game. And that's also dependent on the depth you have at certain positions. But it is not something that go into a game where, hey, this is by quarter or by half or by game, this is the only carries that Ashton can get. I mean, it's all about going in to win the game. And that's no different than who Ashton is as a person. What do I need to do to win the football game? And then at the end of the day, we look at to see what the carries are and the yards are. But it's all about winning the football game.
Are you comfortable with the carries he's been getting lately?
I am.
Back in August, you made a decision at quarterback, and you said Maddox gives you guys the best chance to win a game. How much has that proven true with the last 3 games as, teams that start to focus on who you call the best player in the country?
Yeah, I mean, Maddox has earned it. And what he's done, not only in the offseason that, earned the trust of me and his coaches and his teammates to be called the starting quarterback going into game 1, how he's played through these first 8 games has continually solidified himself as that guy, and he earns it every single day. And who he is as a competitor, same thing. As I walked through to do media today, he's in there studying film. That's who he is. He's an elite competitor. He's critiquing himself on the couple plays that he didn't do well on Friday night, not taking all the pats on the back as, oh, I think I've arrived. Absolutely not. He's an elite competitor, and that's no different for a lot of our guys. That same thing, all the pats on the back, little by little, start to whittle that chip down. Maddox Madsen has a chip on his shoulder that he'll have forever. He's a competitor. And so proud of him. And I think at this point people see that, I mean, he's a big-time quarterback. And that's not just my opinion. Watch the film.
You've had 3 interceptions in the last 2 games. I know it was something you guys were pointing for. So anything that you guys did to get them, and they all seem to come at important times.
Bob, I've been asked that question for years as a defensive coordinator, and I'm asking even now as a head coach. You know, in regards to turnovers, it's no different than any other technique. Like, you keep working at it. We do all the drills. We practice it every way you can find. We're trying to be on the cutting edge to find other ways to train it, because creating turnovers is everything in this game. Eliminating them on offense and taking them on defense is the game. But, I mean, our guys have kept working the drills, kept doing it in practice, and seeing it now show up. The interception against UNLV, huge play in that game. They always are big plays. No different this week. The pick six and the interception by Alexander Tubner in that game, I mean, they're monster plays in the game, and we're going to keep repping it. We're going to keep repping it in practice and finding better ways to do it, and we need to have another good week of practice doing it. So I don't know if there's one drill that you could point to. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, but it's the mentality and the habits you create, and the more we can continue to create some pressure on quarterbacks, we're going to be able to get some throws.
If you look around like college football right now, you know, Ashton has us looking at the Heisman odds, and is it like, if you look at the quarterbacks, you know, Cam Ward, guy on an extra year COVID year, Dylan Gabriel, extra COVID year, Jackson Dart, fourth-year starting quarterback, Indiana QB, extra COVID year, and then you have Maddox as a sophomore. What is the key to like the developmental process? Like, there's not like a whole lot of like young QBs really thriving right now. It's a lot of these older guys. So like, what is the key to getting these guys off on the right foot and developing them?
Yeah, I think, you know, so much of that is, first off, what we are about here at Boise State, Jay, and I'm very open about this, we are a developmental football program. We don't just go to the portal or go to junior college right away. Like, we're always looking for the best football players around. Let's not get that twisted. But we're about development, and where a player is as a freshman, where we can grow him to as a sophomore, where we can grow him to as a junior. And so even looking at Maddox, I mean, he's a sophomore, and he's been here the whole time. And he's gotten better since he walked in. He got better from last season. He's getting better week to week. We focus on that here. We focus on growing our football players and everything they do, not only just the football schematics or the fundamentals, in the training room, in the weight room, growing their bodies, growing their habits as young men. Like, that is what we do here. That's what we focus on. And so seeing a guy like Maddox Matson, who's a redshirt sophomore, who's doing some really good things, he's going to continue to improve. Maddox Matson has not played his best football. That's what fires me up. That's what fires me up as a coach, and I can say that for multiple guys on our team that now are getting highlighted in regards to how they play. And my first thing to them is, I know you haven't played your best. I know you're not even close to tapped in regards to who you are as a young man either, because that's life. Like, we're all on a journey, and it's my job to make sure that we are all focused on what we are attacking, what we are going for, not looking behind and soaking up in what we've done to this point, because it really doesn't matter.
How was Dirk, you know, really helped develop him? I mean, obviously you brought him in for a reason.
Yeah.
I assume Maddox wouldn't be where he was if Dirk wasn't here.
No question. Dirk Cutter is elite at not only developing quarterbacks, calling an offense, building an offensive game plan. He is elite. End of story. And I know when he tells those quarterbacks what to do from fundamentals to reads, they listen to him, and they should. And that's shown up in how Maddox has progressed throughout his time.
It might be a little premature, but what's the ceiling for Maddox Madsen? You know, obviously you're seizing everything. Everything.
You said the ceiling?
His ceiling, yeah. You know, everything Ashton's doing is helping, but even Maddox's pocket presence, ball security, just how far can he go?
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I didn't know we had a dual threat quarterback till last weekend. I found that out. That's something I learned about our team. Where his ceiling is, extremely high, because I know who he is as a competitor. I don't look at when people say what's the ceiling of a player, how tall he is, how fast. No. To me, it's their mentality. If they have the right mentality, their ceiling just rose. Because, like, skill to me is talent plus character. And so, because someone could have all the talent, but they don't have the right character that forms the right habits, they're not going to have the skill to go be the player everybody wants them to be. Or Maddox has that. Maddox has talent, and he has character at a high level. And so he's only going to continue to grow and thrive each game, each week, each offseason. He's only going to get better.
Weren't you seeing him grow even from when he first arrived here to now? And obviously, you know, you weren't working with him as much as a defensive coordinator, but just where have you seen his growth the most?
Yeah, I mean, in all facets. I mean, not only in who he is as an overall athlete has improved a lot since he's been here. How he is in his decision-making, I mean, that ball is jumping off his hand. You know, like there's so many things. Like he's grown every single week because he works at it. How he reads the defense, the check. I mean, everything runs through Maddox. The run game checks, who he is in regards to the pass game, the reads, everything we're doing runs through Maddox. And Dirk does a phenomenal job with him training that, so when he goes in the field, he can operate everything we need him to operate, and he's grown in all those phases.
The running back depth, obviously, coming into the season was a huge thing. And how much has that really hurt, not having Sire and Breezy? We've seen the 30 carries 3 straight games for Ashton. How much of that is also because you haven't had a ton of quality guys? You know, you got 9 carries, I guess, to the other guys, but just where are you with the running back depth?
Yeah, BJ, it's huge. I mean, you go in with obviously Ash, you got Sire Gaines, you got Breezy, Dylan, you got Tico, and as you go through a season, guys get injured and get out. And so as that happens, that puts the load a lot more on the rest of the guys in the position, obviously for the running back, but this is across the board. And this is what everybody in college football is dealing with. I know those two, especially Sire and Breezy in particular, are working their tails off to make sure we get them back. And we need to. And I was just in the training room earlier today seeing them work their tails off to get healthy and be able to practice. So I can't speak to where exactly they're at. I know we need them.
There was some question earlier in the season regarding Prince and where he was in the passing game. You know, past few weeks he's really shown up. First touchdown on Friday night. You know, how have you seen him kind of develop as the season's gone on?
Yeah, I'm proud of Prince. I mean, especially early on in the season, wasn't getting the targets or catches that I know he wanted and we wanted for him. And he just kept working. He stays after practice every single day to get extra work. If it's catching balls, doing some routes on air by himself, every single day after practice, he stays after. And he's getting extra film. So he's improving. And what started the season as maybe not getting the amount of catches that he wanted or we wanted for him, now he's getting those because he earns it. And he earns the respect of his teammates. He earns the respect with Maddox and the timing that's needed to be able to make some of those big catches. And so I'm proud of Prince. And I know there's still a lot more for him, for our team, and for him to continue to achieve this season. But I'm so proud where he's at now because I see him work at it. He's not getting this now because he was frustrated and wanted the ball more. That didn't happen. He just kept working. And so I'm proud of Prince.
You said earlier this year, you know, he wanted to be more than just a deep pass route runner. He wanted to, you know, be able to get the short routes and get the medium routes.
Yep.
How much better are you seeing him in those short and medium routes this year?
Yeah, Prince is getting to where he can run the whole route tree. I mean, there's multiple times where, 4th and 2 slant to Prince, where, you know, a year ago he probably couldn't do that the way we needed him to. Now he can. And he's able to work the middle of the field and some of those intermediate passing routes and not just be a take the top off guy for us. And that's a testament to Coach Miller working with him, but really it's a testament to Prince and the work ethic and who he is to be able to do those things.
At this point in the season, it can be fun when you see a young guy make a jump, and maybe that guy last year was Matt Lauder. This guy this year kind of seems like it might be the other Matt, Matt Wagner. What have you seen out of him, and what has kind of led to his success here recently?
Yeah, because Matt Wagner is going to be a big-time player for us. I mean, he is going to be a matchup issue for defenses for a long time. And talk about a young man who's humble, hungry, works his tail off, had some injuries, missed a game, kept fighting, came back, does everything we need him to do, plays on special teams, makes the hard blocks, has a couple huge catches in the game, and his role is going to continue to grow because he earns it. And so, Matt Wagner is a redshirt freshman. He's a really good player for us now, and his ceiling is high because of his mentality and how he trains and who he is. So very proud of Matt Wagner. He's going to be a matchup issue for defense for a long time.
This Saturday, what do you think stands out about Nevada? What is their calling card on both sides?
Yeah, once again, they're going to be extremely well coached coming here. I think the world of Coach Choate, and his Nevada team's getting better week in and week out. They played a lot of games. They had a week 0 game. They had SMU on the ropes. They beat Oregon State well at home. They've got some really good wins. Last week was kind of one of those games where some stuff didn't go their way. But, that team plays hard in all 3 phases. Like I said, I don't know Coach Choate extremely well. I know Kane Ione very well, and I think the world of him as a coach. I know that defense is going to be relentless. They're going to be on the attack. They're going to be well coached. And I know offensively it's no different. They're getting some of their weapons back from injury, and I know they're going to be full strength against us. And I mean, their quarterback number 2 will be one of the most athletic quarterbacks we've seen all year. And he can make the throws. I mean, he's rated one of the top quarterbacks we've seen. He can make the throws. They can run triple option with him. They can do design runs. I mean, they're coming to their own offensive. They use some tempo in the Colorado State game that kind of worked in their favor, so I'm sure we'll see some tempo this week too. They get a lot of different personnel. They got a ton of running backs so that are all really talented. They've got a lot of transfers on both sides that have kind of helped them grow and develop, and they've got some weapons. They got a big 6'6" receiver on the outside that's really good at getting those 50-50 balls and blocks his tail off too. And like I said, defensively, they're going to be on the attack. I mean, they give you a lot of different front structures, and they play relentless. And that's a testament to their coaches, a testament to their players. And even on special teams, I mean, they're going to be on the attack. They're going to try to steal a possession on, one of the phases. Their guys play hard. And I know in all 3 phases, we will get Nevada's best on Saturday night. And that's what we want. They're going to get our best too. Now, we got to go earn the right to go do it in how we practice, because this is the most important game of our season. Why? Because it is the next one. And that's my focus, and that's going to be my message to our guys. We're going to clean up the game from Saturday today, and we're going to flip the switch, and it is all gas on Nevada because we know we're going to get their best Saturday, and we got to earn the right to go play that. And that's what's so cool about college football, especially when you get November, especially when you're playing conference games. You're going to get each other's best every week. And it's the teams that can focus on the process, focus on what matters, not on what's going to happen down the road, not even what's going to maybe happen in the game. No, let's have the best Monday we've ever had in your habits, in your process, in our practice, in our meetings. Saturday will take care of itself. Like, I want our guys to cut it loose, and we're not going to overcoach them on Saturday. I talked to them about attacking success. There will not be a Boise State Bronco that I ever want to take the field that's going to go out there and play with fear. Absolutely not. The way we do that, though, is how we practice. And we need to get to work and make sure we earn the right to play our best.
Spencer, back to Dirk. You spend 80 hours a week with him up here. What's it like with him behind the scenes? How much fun is he having with this offense behind the scenes? And as part of those conversations, is it taboo to talk about next year? Do you joke about him coming back next year? Do you want him to come back next year?
I absolutely want Dirk to come back next year. No, we don't talk about that stuff, Mike. We talk about Dirk is not only, as we all see, a phenomenal offensive coach, quarterback coach, game planner. He's a huge mentor to me. And I go in there a lot, from practice schedules to culture to messaging. Obviously, we've talked about Coach Pete. I Zoom with him once a week to make sure I'm not missing anything. But Dirk's a huge resource for me. He's a huge resource for our whole staff. And I think he's having an absolute blast because he loves these kids. And I think sometimes people don't understand that. The relationships he builds with these players, not just on the offense, the defense, the guys that he's texting, calling, checking on them. That's who he is. He's an elite coach. He's even better, mentor for these young men, and a mentor for me as a young head coach, that I pick his brain constantly in regards to all facets of this game. And he's an absolute joy to be around on a day-to-day, and he's, one of the most meticulous, process-oriented coaches I've ever been around. He's brought me to a higher level, and I'm thankful for that.
You got a lot going on, obviously, but are you at all intrigued, interested at all, just to see what the committee thinks of you guys tomorrow night?
BJ, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Absolutely not. And I don't say that to tell you the coach speech. I really don't. It just doesn't matter, because no different with the AP rankings. People, I see, cool. It doesn't matter. You lose a game, you're out of there. Someone wins out, and all of a sudden they're in there, and no one thought they were going to make it. That happens all the time. And so for me, I'm proud of what our guys have done through 8 games, BJ, but I'm just so excited for us to continue to learn and grow and have our best game 9. And so whatever the rankings come out, I'm sure someone's going to screenshot it and send it to me. I'll see it, and I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to talk to our team about it and make sure they know, guys, whatever comes out Tuesday night, it doesn't matter. What matters is how we prep and the practice we have Tuesday to earn the right to play our best on Saturday, because it really doesn't. This isn't my opinion. Those rankings do nothing for our team. Do nothing. The only thing it would do is, if we focus on them, get us to where we don't focus on what matters, which is our work.
So I can tell you're not too invested in your rankings, but week 3, week 4, talking about the playoffs compared to talking about the playoffs week 11, November. Is it at least starting to maybe settle in a little bit more of how close you guys are?
No. It's not something I talk about. It's something I will talk about just so I make sure the things that are out there in the media, I do talk with our team about, just to be very straight and direct with my thoughts on it. So I am going to talk about that the college football playoff rankings are coming out tomorrow, but I'm going to make sure everybody in this building knows it doesn't matter. What matters is how we work. Because, once again, it doesn't. It does. It's not like, well, that's an interesting way to look at it, Coach. It doesn't matter. And where we are ranked at the end of this season matters. And for me, the only way to achieve anything is to take it one day at a time. That's our process, and that's what this place is built on. It's not built on teams or people that live in entitlement and look at rankings and think, oh, look at how good we are. No, to me, we haven't done nothing yet. We played 8 games. We've done some good stuff. There's still a lot of meat on the bone, man. I got to be better. Our team's got to be better, and we got to have our best week of practice.
You encourage guys to go vote tomorrow?
Yes. Yep. We in the bye week we brought somebody in to talk to them about getting registered and making sure they go vote. And I'm going to talk to our team on Tuesday. Say, hey guys, after practice, like go out there and vote, guys. Go out there. I'm going to, and I'm going to make sure our staff has that opportunity because we live in a country where you can do that. And regardless where anybody's at with candidates and where it is, like we are in a country that you got to go out and vote, and you have that right as a citizen here, and you got to go take advantage of it. And so I'm going to make sure our players have that space. I want to make sure our staff has that space. If guys don't, that's their decision to not. And I know, too, for me, I'm going to make sure our staff and our players, we're praying for our country. And right now, whatever happens tomorrow in the election, I'm believing that God's best is done for our country, and we continue to grow as a country because I love our country. And I'm not going to ever be a guy that says anything different. I'm going to be here. Just like I talk about Boise State football, like I'm going to be here. I love this country, and I'm praying that God's best is to come.
Marshall, how's he holding up? I know he's probably not having the season that he's wanted to. Where are his spirits? Is there any update there with Chris Marshall?
Yeah, Johnny, good question. With Chris, it has not gone the way he's wanted to, really due to injury. And, we leave the Georgia Southern game, going to the Oregon game, and he was a huge part of that game plan going to the Oregon game. First target he got, had a high ankle sprain, and that missed a couple weeks. Then trying to get him back from that. Then he had a hamstring tweak. So he's battling through it right now. And he was in the training room today working to get healthy, and that's my message to him. And, yes, there's days that he's frustrated because he wants to be out there on the field and help our team because a healthy Chris Marshall helps our football team. But when he's not, especially at the position he plays, if I can't run the top speed I need to run, he doesn't help our team. He doesn't help himself either. So getting him healthy, getting him out there to be able to help our team down the stretch, when we get him back and when he's going to be 100% healthy, he was banged up last week again. We just got to get him healthy so he can go out there and be his best.
Oregon game. How's Roger Cherry doing?
He's doing great. He's doing great, Jay. I mean, he's doing some drills and he's doing some indie type stuff and he's moving. And first off, even before I talk about where Roger's at, I mean, I am so proud of him and Mason in regards to how they are as leaders right now. And if you guys ever get an opportunity when you come to practice to watch those guys, watch them in the game, I mean, they are so intent on helping those players that are on the field, coaching them up, what they're seeing. I mean, there was a point in the game on Friday night. I mean, Roger had the O-line, and he was giving him the pump-up speech it was like a Braveheart speech coming. I mean, just the amount that these guys love their team. Yes, they are two of our best players that aren't playing right now, but they're not, I'm not a part of the game plan, so I'm not going to bring the juice or the leadership. I mean, they are bringing it for their teammates. And Roger's in a good place. I mean, our trainer's done a great job, and he's moving. We'll get him back here.
You had, down 4 offensive linemen this week. First off, at what point does that become a concern? And second off, just how's the line been able to respond? I know you next man up. We say this every week, but just how impressed are you with how well they've been able to respond to all this adversity?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Keene, Coach Cutter, Coach Potter have done a great job. And, I mean, with the O-line we've had out, being able to mix and match guys, get them in there, get them to compete at a high level. I'm just so proud of our staff. I'm proud of our guys because that's the reality of college football is it's next man up. Blank player can't play. This guy's playing now, carry the flag. And we're going through it just like Nevada's going through it, just like everybody else in the country is going through it. Next guy's got to step up, and I'm proud of our staff, and I'm proud of our players.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, guys.